storms around. Now, as we go into the next few days, heat and humidity is sticking around and our rain chances are going up. I'll have all those details coming up.
First Lady Marty Kemp and the Grace Commission, along with GBI, the Attorney General's office, and a lot of other grassroots folks are working every single day to end human trafficking in our state.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 7, the governor of the Peach State cracking down on gang recruitment and human traffickers, plus a former drama school teacher facing child exploitation charges where the investigation stands. And also tonight, renovations at the Aiken Farmers Market put on hold. We'll tell you why as your News at 7 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Joining us, I'm Sean Gavage-Stock. Coverage you can count on begins with a former Washington County High School drama teacher now facing 21 counts related to child sexual abuse material. With more details, here's Bria Smith.
Michael Dendy is the former head of the drama department here at Washington County High School. Investigators say he's worked at schools in Georgia, Mississippi, and Maryland and are looking for more potential victims.
I think it's incredibly sad and it's scary, I mean, one day I want to have kids and I'm not sitting in the school, so I have to worry about, are they going to be preyed upon by their teachers?
Gracie Howard is a former student at Washington County High School and was shocked when she heard the news.
I mean, all my friends at high school were in theater, and so I was like, oh my God, what if something happened to my friends, So, I mean, it was just very concerning.
After the initial complaints landed Dendy in the Washington County Jail in January, lead investigator Sergeant Corey Collier says they called for more help after learning more information.
During the investigation, we found that there are some victims that could possibly be out of state. So we reached out to the Department of Homeland Security with their majority of resources to help us in the case.
Dendy has since been indicted by the federal government, charged with possessing, receiving, and distributing child pornography. And investigators say there could be more charges.
I mean, it's no different than we would treat any other case or try to get justice for the victim in any other case. It's the same, but definitely when it was found out he was a suspect, it was a wow factor.
Howard didn't have Dendy as a teacher, but she says she knew who he was.
He was on morning duty a lot, so I would see him when I was walking into school. I was not in the theater program. He was very, I never spoke to him, but he was always just kind of there.
Dendy was arrested in January on his original charges, but is awaiting his arraignment on his federal charges. Investigators say if he's convicted, he could face a minimum of 15 years in prison. In Washington County, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
All right, Bria, thank you. More than 100 historic plaques stolen from monuments in downtown Augusta have now been returned to their owners. They were found behind a closed building near Ellis Street. The owner of the building says deputies told him that Duterval Soldier is accused of stealing the items. Soldier died during an officer-involved shooting Saturday that left the deputy wounded. Eddie Stevens says he set up a homeless camp and kept the items in an area enclosed by a gate.
As I started cleaning out, I had a dumpster delivered, and there was old suitcases, and they were stuffed up under things and all over the place, hidden, and I started dragging them out, and they were heavy.
Stevens says he plans to get security cameras and more locks for the property to prevent something like this from happening again. Governor Brian Kemp cracking down on gang crime and human trafficking. Georgia lawmakers recently passed the Street Gangs Terrorism and Prevention Act. Here's our Atlanta Bureau Chief, Archer Shashadri.
Governor Brian Kemp says the state is going after gang recruiters and human traffickers.
First Lady Marty Kemp and the Grace Commission, along with GBI, the Attorney General's office, and a lot of other grassroots folks are working every single day to end human trafficking in our state, to go after the perpetrators, but also bring assistance and help to the victims of this evil crime.
A new law imposes a stricter penalty for gangs, with a 5-year minimum for recruitment and a 10-year minimum for gangs who recruit disabled individuals or minors under 17.
If you come after our children, we're going to come after you. In regards to gang recruitment efforts, certainly we've been hearing that from our educators, not only in our high schools, but down to our middle and elementary schools.
Investigators say gangs often target younger members because the penalties are less severe and offer them more money and a sense of belonging.
The GBI Gang Task Force, to date, we've investigated 446 gang-related cases across 100 counties, again showing that this is there are no geographic boundaries for gang activity in our state, but there are no geographic boundaries for GBI or the Attorney General's office either. We're going where the locals need us to continue to go after street gangs.
Governor Kemp says the state is seeing a shortage with police officers and are finding ways to reduce retention to hire more officers on the ground. For now, they've bumped up the base salary for law enforcement by $6,000. Reporting in Atlanta, Archit Seshadri, Atlanta Bureau Chief.
Meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us now. Jenna, how's the forecast looking?
Well, Sean, I'm sure you noticed it is very hot and humid.
Yes, it
Overall, typical July weather, though. I mean, we're used to that here in the South for sure. On our satellite and radar right now, we're seeing just a few clouds passing by. Overall, not a whole lot of rain. Here's the latest on the live Viper 6. We're just tracking one area of showers and thunderstorms down in Emmanuel and Jacobs County. The rest of the CSRA pretty dry this evening. Notice Columbia outside of our viewing area under an aerial flood advisory right now. It does look like we could have an aerial flood advisory issued at some point for these counties here. Right outside of Swainsboro and Millen, we have some heavy rain that's been lingering for quite some time. Also, a lot of lightning here within this cell, 107 strikes. So definitely some very heavy rain in this part of the CSRA. But for the rest of us, a good amount of sunshine this evening. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at Augusta Regional Airport showing a pretty nice night. Our temperature today was hot, reaching a high of 95 degrees. Low temperature still a couple degrees below average at 70, and no rainfall recorded today at Augusta Busch Field. Right now, we're still seeing those upper 80s and low 90s, 88 in Allendale and Barnwell, Thompson sitting at 91, Augusta right at that 90-degree mark, 94 in Louisville, Wrightsville at 93, and only 86 in Edgefield. Our dew points are certainly high today. We're seeing all low to mid 70s. We have plenty of moisture, and that's what allows our heat index to really climb quickly. We're at the triple digits in both Augusta, Aiken, Thompson, Washington, even seeing 104 over in Louisville and Wrightsville, 102 in Swainsboro. So not quite a heat advisory criteria, but still definitely some dangerous heat, and that'll be the case over the next few days as well. So you definitely want to try to limit your activity outside and find ways to stay cool. We have this trough over the area. That's what's bringing us the showers and storms. However, we will dry out for tomorrow morning with that chance of storms returning once again by tomorrow afternoon. I'll have all those details coming up, but back to you, Sean.
All right, Jenna, thank you. And speaking about the dangerous heat, a landscaper is currently hospitalized after being exposed to dangerous heat. Idris Nur collapsed while doing landscaping work earlier this week. He came into Doctors Hospital with a temperature of more than 200. The average temperature is 98.3. Doctors were able to save his life with ice packs, and now he's in the ICU recovering.
Yeah, it was actually kind of scary when I woke up because I looked around and I was like, this is not the grass. So, yeah. And before that, I think I was getting like little heat chills, and I've never experienced that either, so.
My goodness. And he says he's very grateful for the doctors who helped save his life. To Aiken now, where the Williamsburg Street redevelopment project is on hold, and this mobile app. Up next, actors may soon be joining the writers in their protest. We have the full story when we come back.
Hello, I'm Adrian.
Link.com.
It's a Goldilocks experience. Some heating and air conditioning contractor prices are too high. There's an extra charge for everything. Some advertised prices are too low. You know, like not real. Contact Styles Heating and Cooling, the company that is just right. Styles has been keeping area homeowners comfortable for more than 50 years. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Styles repairs it right the first time and replaces only what can't be repaired. See us on the web at stylesair.com.
In Hollywood, the union representing actors in TV, film, and streaming could be joining the writers who have been on strike for more than 70 days. Here's Rena Roy.
Hollywood has officially shut down with a big announcement from the Actors Union. SAG-AFTRA union officials saying they voted to authorize a strike.
Despite our team's efforts, the AMPTP has remained steadfast in its commitment to devaluing the work of our members. Actors deserve a contract that reflects the changes that have taken place in the industry.
This comes after more than 4 weeks of negotiations between SAG-AFTRA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the two unable to reach a deal. The studios responding in a statement saying in part the AMPTP presented a deal that offered historic pay and residual increases, substantially higher caps on pension and health contributions, audition protections, shortened series option period, and a groundbreaking AI proposal. The key sticking points, the threat of artificial intelligence and residuals from streaming.
We're not asking for the moon, we're asking for fairness to be treated like humans. The things that the actors are asking for is common sense.
Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, ABC's parent company, speaking to CNBC about the strike.
There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. And they are adding to a set of challenges that this business is already facing.
The Writers Guild of America already on strike for more than 70 days. Both unions have similar demands.
The last time we saw two major unions on strike, both SAG and WGA, was in 1960. So that's a lifetime ago.
Thousands of writers on the picket lines for weeks.
I'm worried about spending the next 10 or 20 years of my career without a fair contract.
Production on many shows and movies has already stopped since the writers went on strike at the beginning of May, and more could soon join that list. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, an over-the-counter birth control pill is expected to hit the shelves soon. We have more when we come back.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Thursday evening. I hope you stayed cool today. We didn't have a whole lot of heat relief when it comes to the rain. Only a few storms around, with the majority of the CSRA pretty dry right now. Notice up in Columbia, we have an aerial flood advisory with ongoing heavy rain. But across Augusta, Aiken looking good, other than a few showers here and there, very brief. And down in Emmanuel and Jenkins County, that's where we have some ongoing heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning as well. Over an inch of rain already across the border here of Emmanuel and Jenkins County. This is headed towards Millen, so if you're in downtown, heads up that there is a lot of lightning around. Definitely a good idea to stay inside. Check out those strikes, 124 just in the last 15 minutes. So this is not expected to become a severe storm, but definitely some heavy rain that's not moving very fast along with that lightning. Now, in addition to that one storm, it's also very, very hot. Here's a look at Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam down in Swainsboro. No rain here right now. All of that is moved off towards the east. And here in Augusta, we're having a good amount of sunshine right now with temperatures in the low 90s, sitting exactly at 90 degrees, south wind of 9 miles per hour, bringing in a lot of moisture and a dew point of 75. So around the CSRA, a lot of 90s still this evening. 90 in Sparta, 92 in Gibson, 91 up in McCormick, 90 degrees as well in Aiken, and seeing those upper 80s now in Barnwell, Allendale, and Bamberg. Now, the heat index is definitely no joke today. We are into the triple digits for pretty much everyone, feeling like 100 exactly in Augusta and Aiken, feeling like 104 in Louisville, all thanks to those dew points being in the low to mid 70s. Now, we have abundant moisture across the CSRA due to that south and southwest wind we've been dealing with, bringing in a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's what's allowing all these storms to pop up in the afternoon and evening. We also have a trough situated right across the CSRA, so all this moisture will cause more scattered storms tomorrow and over the weekend. So it's definitely going to be hot and humid, but you will get a little bit of relief in any areas that do see some rain. So notice our high temperatures are actually right around average in those low to mid 90s, but the issue is the humidity. That's making it feel anywhere from around 103 on Monday all the way up to 108, which is what we'll have over the weekend. And as I mentioned, we'll see those scattered storms around a 40 to 50% chance of it. And then notice next week, those rain chances go down to just 20%. And at that point, our temperatures are going to climb as well. And you'll see that on our 10-day forecast in a moment. But in the meantime, tomorrow, a partly cloudy day, starting out at 74, making it into those low 90s by the late afternoon. And let's check out Futurecast now. We'll keep it dry through noon. Then by around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll see those storms develop. Definitely not a washout of a day, just those hit and miss thunderstorms continue until the evening. And then Saturday morning, same thing, rinse and repeat forecast. Starting out dry, and then those storms fire up right around the same time on Saturday afternoon. Definitely some heavy rain possible at times, but I'm not expecting any severe weather over the next few days. Our lows tonight will be in the mid 70s, a little bit above average, and tomorrow topping off right around average, 94 is your high in Augusta. We'll be at 93 on Saturday, 94 again on Sunday, 40% to 50% chance of rain over the weekend. Then our rain chances go down next week and the temperatures go up. We will be seeing anywhere from 98 to 99 degrees all of next week. And we'll be right back.
Well, in a landmark decision, the Food and Drug Administration greenlights the first ever over-the-counter birth control pill that will be available for people of all ages. Here's M. Wynn.
Today, the Food and Drug Administration making a milestone decision approving a daily oral contraceptive pill that for the first time can be bought over the counter without a prescription. The move allows the once-a-day hormonal pill called Opill to be sold across different venues from online markets to drugstores to grocery stores. It also removes certain challenges like having to pay for a doctor's visit or taking time off from work.
We know that those barriers are part of the systemic barriers faced by many people trying to access healthcare in this country, and we're particularly hopeful that it will transform access for those folks.
An independent advisory panel found that the progestin-only Opill posed fewer medical risks to patients than other birth control pills that rely on estrogen. Opill's company Perrigo issuing a statement saying today marks a truly momentous day, adding how nearly half the pregnancies that occur in the U.S. every year are unintended, and that nearly 1/3 of U.S. adult women who have ever tried to obtain a prescription or refill a contraceptive pill, patch, or ring reported difficulties doing so. But Opill will not have an age limit for sales, which could be a point of contention.
Now, I do think you're going to see some pushback from conservative groups that say, there really should be an age restriction on it because parents should be involved in that.
This comes as dozens of U.S. states have sought to restrict access to abortion services. Since the fall of Roe versus Wade over a year ago, 15 states have enacted laws that have a near total or complete ban on abortion. Perrigo has not announced a price for Opill yet, but has said they want to keep it accessible and affordable for all. We can expect to see these pills hit the shelves in the U.S. starting early next year. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, reunited and it feels so good. I'll tell you why I'm saying that coming up in a few minutes.
It's a great time to get your lawn in shape with a new mower from Davis Appliance and Furniture. We offer no credit needed financing and delivery options to meet your needs. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices in town, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Over now at Gerald Jones Volvo Cars.
It's the perfect time to update your living space with a new sofa and love seat set from Davis Appliance and Furniture. Or update your indoor appliances with no credit needed financing. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices in town, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
And meanwhile, on the West Coast, 2 black bear cub siblings are back together at the San Diego Humane Society's Wildlife Center. It's been a rough week for the cubs. They were rescued a few days apart after their mother was found dead in the San Bernardino National Forest last week, but they quickly rebounded at the Wildlife Center and they're in good condition, and the cubs will be moved to a bigger space before returning to the wild early next year.
Aw, how cute. I see why you're singing the song now.
Yes, there you go.
I love that, Sean. That was
Yeah.
good. You should sing for us more often.
Ah, okay, stick to my day job, Jenna.
Yeah, you want to sing the 10-day forecast?
No, that's okay.
Well, here's a look at that 10-day. We have temperatures staying hot and humid going all the way up to 99 by around this time next week with scattered storms each day in the forecast, including this weekend.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep,
All right.
same old typical July.
Same old. Jenna, thank you. And thank you for joining us. We're back at 10 on MeTV. Entertainment Tonight is next.